Hello everyone and welcome back to Cities by Steven. You're talking to Steven. Welcome back to the channel. If it's your first time here, please hit the subscribe button, get that bell notification on so you don't miss out on the next episode of Brockton County in Ontario themed city. And make sure to hit the like button. The like button helps the channel a lot. I got a lot planned in today's episode. We're going to go over some small changes that I made to the city, and we're going to look at some warehousing. And then we're going to look at pushing for the next milestone. And that's going to be in preparation for future expansion in this week, where I think we're going to start our second major industry. I know that a lot of people are asking to maybe start the downtown, but I don't think the city is ready for that yet. We're definitely kind of planned for it in a way that the city looks a bit empty in some parts. So we're gonna go look for that, plan for that a little bit as well. But definitely a residential push today and maybe tomorrow's episode, and perhaps by the end of the week we can start looking at what a downtown would look like. And we're also going to do a detailing episode on Friday with our traffic management if time persists, or if there's a chance, I guess. If we have enough time, that's the word I'm looking for. But without further ado, let's hop into it, and we're going to hop right back into our little baseball diamond little league tournament area because I made some changes. All right, so I got a few comments about the directionality of the baseball diamonds. And yeah, so when I was planting them down that way, I was thinking this was a bit more of like, kids. But realizing that these assets are probably a multi-use diamond that could probably go up to teenagers and even adults. So turning them around would probably be best in a lot of cases. And I was also looking at the workshop for like a fence asset, so that we can protect the highway a bit because that would be a little bit dangerous, and the roadways too. So as you say, I've got this asset from the workshop. It's pretty cool, and I've left gaps in it as well, mainly because things didn't fit properly, but that's not why. It's because you gotta walk through it, right? So there's gaps in the fences to help walk through, and I've also added this parking lot. I did this off camera because I wasn't set on it. I didn't know what I was going to do exactly. So I just wanted to play around with it, and I liked it. So I figured I'd just show you like this. I won't normally do this. This was an exceptional circumstance, because I wanted to just, play around with these assets, and I love baseball. So go Jays. Anyways, let's hop into today's episode. Let's just zoom out of the city so we know what we're dealing with. All right. So in order to hit the next milestone, we just need to hit 17,000, which we're 501 people away, 498 people away. So that's what we're going to start off with today. We're just going to kind of zone in a bit of residential and hope that that kind of pushes us to the edge, and then we're going to look at our warehousing and some other aspects of the city. So we have this little dead zone right here that we've left. I think this would probably be developed as low-density residential. So we're going to start off with that. We're going to pull up our normal road, just the basics. And then we're going to... So I'm actually going to break the grid here, or what the zoning patterns are, because I don't want zoning here, and I want to keep... What? It's not working. There we go. Just a little bit delayed. Okay. That's fine. So I want to kind of place a road. It's not going to line up exactly because I don't think that road is even, but if we do this, we're going to maintain our normal grid, and we'll do the same thing right from here. Nice. And with that, we can use our move it mod, and we're just going to put nodes on, and we're going to hold alt down, and we're just going to pull it until the pavement connects a little bit. And what that's going to do is it's going to allow pedestrians to walk down those roads. Prop and tree anarchy is on. I just turned it off, don't worry. And we're just going to delete these trees. All right, so this is just going to kind of allow me to zone in here pretty nicely. Oops, pressing the wrong button. It's been a few days since I've played. All right, and I'm thinking about zoning here. Yeah, you know what? It might be worth it. So I'm just going to rezone this area. It's going to make some houses a bit wonky here, but I think overall it's fine. And why did that change? Oh, I guess I must have misclicked. So here we go, fix that. Then we're going to get housing right along here. I suppose there would be houses right over here too. So I took the zoning off there originally, so let's just put it back. Yeah, because that's why I removed the zoning. Alright, so I'm just going to be pretty selective here. And you know what we could do just to improve the walkability of the city a bit, is we can just add in a pretty normal path here. Just a simple path to connect this area up a bit. And while we have this area empty, it's also a good opportunity to put trees in. So we know that there's a gap right there, so we're just going to do that. It's going to help the look out a bit. And we'll just let that zone in by itself, put it at 3 speed. And I don't think that's going to do it just onto itself. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look towards this direction over here, right on this this area where we built this church, and I think I'm just going to try to extend this out ever so slightly. So I'm going to first of all draw a road out. Well, let's make sure that we have this. I'm going to draw it out farther than we would normally like. That's because I want to connect to this street here. I'm going to turn that off, and I want to make sure I have a straight connection here. So that's the direction I want to go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to end the road early and then curve in. It's pretty nice. So one tip that we could do here is to just simply pause the game while we do this. Just upgrade these houses, or these this street here. I'm going to flip that around right there. And this could probably be a 4-lane onto itself. So why don't we just do that? Alright, and then what we'll do is we'll just take zoning off this road, and we'll let these houses, let these houses regrow. Okay, so next let's actually look at getting a small street, maybe like a private, you know? And what we'll do is we'll connect right up to this node, and we'll just drag it out to about there. And what we're going to do is we're going to follow the same pattern that we did previously, and we're going to remove zoning. Oh, it's being slow again. Just remove zoning on this main road here. Alright, so let's let's look at this, and what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to be a bit picky with the zone, and we're just going to do that. So I'm just trying to prevent, let's actually do something like this. Just trying to prevent houses from going too close to the sidewalk. We'll do that, and then we'll zone all of this as residential as well. Okay, so we'll let that come in as well, and we'll continue building this extension. So I'm going to just drag this out farther than we're supposed to, and I'm going to try to maintain our 8x8 pattern here. So unfortunately we're going to break this right there, but we managed to extend that a block. And what we're going to do instead is, since this is the river here, I'm going to kind of see, we have 2 things we could do. We could, you know, triangulate, I guess, the road, and that could be pretty cool. And then what's the point in this road? And we can make a little parkette here, which would be pretty cool, but you know, we could just simply remove Garland Street here. But perhaps this kind of looks like it was a later development, you know? So I'm going to actually remove this road now. Actually, I'm going to call a mulligan on that. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go back to this, and I'm just going to dezone this road. Alright. And the reason why we're kind of thinking about doing that is I think these 2 triangles right here would be prime locations for like a little parkette. And I think we'll save that for a future detailing episode. Alright, so we haven't hit that milestone yet. We're getting there. So we're just going to continue on doing what we're doing. And I think first things first is we are going to... should I continue this out as a private? I don't know. Let's drag it from here, which would be the maintaining the grid kind of line. And we're not going to connect it to the road here. So what we're going to do instead is we're just going to do that. Go to move it. And make sure we have node selected this time. Hold Alt down. And I think I'm going to undo what I did. And I'm going to There we go. So you see how that green line is sticking up, so that's saying that the road is maintaining its straight connection. And what we'll do is we'll just zone in all of this, and I'm going to come back and remove zoning there. Okay, ooh. Haha, it wouldn't be an episode if I forgot about water, right? So we'll go right to there, and we'll bring it up. Okay. So, now that we got that in place, we should probably look at what we got going on here. So, our water is definitely in need of some upgrades. So let's... Something looks off. I'm missing something right here. I don't know where that disappeared. It might have been before the episode, but I'll get this back because I know I lost it, which was like your notifications where you could see what was going on with the city. Okay, so let's go to this. I believe I just unlocked... no, we're about to unlock this. So I think we'll just be able to hold on a little bit longer until we get to the next milestone. We're almost there, so we'll just continue looking to zone in here. So this is going to get a bit tricky here. I'm actually going to call a mulligan on that. And right here, we're going to remove this road. So I think I'm going to try to follow the topography a bit here. Yes, okay, I remember now. There's a bit of an issue here with the topography. So I think this might be the limit of what we can do here. This might have to be a park. It should be a pretty cool park to live at, to be honest. And what we could do is just drive or pull in like another one of these privates. Sorry, house. And this can be something, you know, like it's like slightly like a condo. Okay, so we don't have a house there. That's probably fine. All right, so we'll zoom over here and we'll look to do something similar with this. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make a triangle onto this road connection from here. And I think what we'll do is we'll pull down. Hey, look at that. So we got it. We also unlocked this new tile, which is kind of giving me the ability to expand a bit farther. Even though we've unlocked everything with the 81 tiles mod, it's just a bit of help. All right, so I'm going to throw in some of these crematoriums as well, and we're going to look at doing a water treatment plant sometime soon as well. All right, so I'm just going to extend this down to there, and then let's just zone in right through here. All right. So, I was wondering what that was. I think some of my mods got updated or something. I'm a bit thrown off. Alright, so now that we got that in place, we unlock the new milestone. Let's get our first new water tower in. So this water tower, the large water tower, this one I think would be probable to go somewhere like this, or into here, close to the main road, but there are also opportunities to get them like right over here. So let's actually choose this location. And I'm gonna hook it up to the water pipes. Apparently there's one right there. And something I like doing around these larger ones is kind of give a bit of an access road. But instead of like a road, we're going to use a pedestrian path. And that kind of gives a bit of the vibe that I'm kind of going for. And I'm going to use this park fence. Let's put Control P on. Nope, doesn't do it. Oh, there we go. And I'm just going to give it a bit of a fence around it, and that's gonna, we'll pretend there's a gate somewhere because it's a bit tricky to do that otherwise. All right, and then we'll just do a quick detail of this section. Whoops. Let's go to these large trees, and just for this peace of mind of the citizens around that section, we'll just throw some trees. All right, so that's pretty good, right? Did a lot so far. We've expanded out this way a bit, and now we're going to Oh, water. Probably look at sewage. You know, I don't know what happened to this. This is interesting. I don't know what I did. I did something. It was clearly me. It's throwing me off a bit. Oh, it's right over here. Oh, no. I'm just being silly. Alright, well, I will have to figure that out for the next episode. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is we're talking about warehousing. And thank you for the comment, Mark, about bettering the warehouse system that I had going on. And look at this. We're missing flour, so this is what we're doing. So apparently I was doing the warehousing wrong, where I was kind of leaving too many warehouses with fill and balanced in the sections closer to the production chain. And what I want to do is I want to maintain factory or warehouses with fill closer to the factory. And this was the challenge that we presented ourselves by putting this factory on a main street, which is no longer an industrial zone, but we're pretending that this old bakery is like an older bakery in the city that has maybe been reconfigured over time, and things have popped up around it. So we can't really get a warehouse in, and that's the trick, right? So I've set this one to fill, so it's they shouldn't have any issues getting crops, and we have the spawn point for this factory right here. So trucks come along this section, but with the flour we're producing from these 3 mills, we're producing way too much. So what the idea is, this is on empty, and yet we have so many trucks still filling this up because there's nowhere for this product to go, and that's good. But we look at the flour here, and a lot of it is just not, I guess a lot of it's getting shipped out here. But regardless, these are starting to empty. They're closer to the production chain, and we want to get all that product into the warehouse as soon as possible. Yeah, we're out of flour again. We just got an animal products delivery. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to look at improving this roadway a little bit, Bathurst Street. And I'm going to start down here at Ashland Street, which has kind of become a main thoroughfare, and we're going to rename it Baker House. Actually, how about Baker House Avenue? Thank you, Glenn, for the suggestion. It's a great name. Pretending that the bakery was here first, so Baker House Avenue, which we'll just click right here, and we will do this because we want to see how far it goes. Yeah, it goes all the way through here. It could probably stop right here. And this Lee Street is probably a later extension. Okay, so, and this would probably also be Baker House Street, because we made it so this road was cut off by the highway. But anyways, so we got lots of stuff going on here. I want to get this road to be a bus road, and that's a bit tricky because, see, we have this as like a 4-lane road right here, right? So 4-lane, 2-way road, bus lane, no parking. I think this is a good option here. I'm going to pause the game. Yeah, so the buses will ignore this. Let's just watch this guy. Yeah, he just switched out. But if we upgrade this, it kind of gives a bit more of the vibe we're looking for. But again, this is going to be a heavily industrial area here because we're getting trucks to come down Bathurst Street here. So I think this is actually a better option for this area. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to, remove the zoning on here because we just messed up all the zoning, didn't we? I'm gonna have to come back to that. So I think what we'll look to do is get a bit of a wider road. So this is the vanilla one. I think that's probably too much, right? Well, no, because we have the dedicated bus lane. And then yeah, I think this will work. Okay, so let's just readjust some things here. I'm going to hold Alt down. Same thing, I'm going to hold Alt down. I'm going to go to the node controller and just click that. squares the node. We're going to come over to this section and we're going to upgrade this road. All right, so we kind of got condensed here a bit, but you know, I think the 6-lane road is a bit overkill, but I wanted this bus lane to be dedicated. So right here, this road would probably need to switch as well into something else, like this one. So we go down a lane and then we go down a lane again. All right, and then let's do this, square the node. All right, let's take a look at the zoning again. Yep, so it did pop back up. I wish it kind of stuck around. We'll do that, and then we'll look at just filling in these spaces here. So I think we wanted houses over here, hence why we kind of built the private section. And this all looks fine and dandy, except right here. We'll take that away. All right, so we'll just come back through here with a bit of dedicated turn lanes. Let's just see. Actually, this one should probably be straight as well, because the idea, I mean, ideally this would be like a no parking road, but it looks like there's parking here. Or maybe we can say that's like a bike lane. We'll see, we'll see. Okay, so right here, this bus lane, it will be also used as the right-hand turn. And I guess, well, I guess that should be straight, and then this one should be right, technically, right? Because the buses will stay in this lane or be turning, and they won't be turning. So instead, these cops are going to drive on the curb. And then we'll come right to here, and I just want that. There we go. Definitely don't need a light here. Could probably use a light here, or here. I think we'll leave it. And then this is also a bit funky, but the buses just ignore everything, right? So, yeah, you know what? I think we'll have to kind of leave this because of the bus lanes. The way it is, it's a bit funky, because these cars need a dedicated lane to turn and stuff. I don't think I have enough. 5-lane 3+2. In a way, this kind of works better, doesn't it? Because now they have a dedicated left lane, they got a straight, and the buses are just going straight, they're not turning. And then right here, this is just the straight, and then they can also turn right here, which would be going into the bus lane to turn right, which is kind of normal, right? So, talking myself into this one. Alright, it's a bit cooler too, and then they got a ton of lanes to choose from over here, and the reason why I wanted the 6 lane was primarily, well, we could probably go to this one. Oops. Yeah, this is a bit better. So you hop into this one if you want to turn right into the bus lane, which is normal. I mean, at least where I live. But we just need to go to here. We need to redo this for the 5th time. And let's just make sure we got the zoning in. Alright, that's probably fine. And we're good down there. Okay, so let's just do a bit of traffic manager right here. Actually, I'm going to call a mulligan really quickly on that, because I want to draw a bit of an avenue down this way. It's going to be pretty simple. Just a basic one, like this. And we're going to connect up to that. We're going to turn guidelines on. And I want to maintain a grid with this. Alright, so we're going to throw the node controller onto this. We're going to square the node. And I'm going to pull this one back ever so slightly. And then what we're going to do is we are going to go into this section. And we're just going to do a bit of traffic manager here. Oop, no, I want that to be a left. There we go. This is good. I want this one to be a straight on and right. And then this one is the tricky one. This is going to be a dedicated left. And then we have a straight on and right. Well, I guess we're saying that the cars can go into the bus lane if they're turning. So we can just do that. Makes sense, right? Yeah. Okay, so the reason why we're doing this is because I want to get a couple warehouses in right along the highway here, and I'm going to pre-plan for an expansion of this highway, or of this interchange, like a change up a bit at least. So I'm not going to build anything too close to this section right here. So instead what I'm going to do is I'm going to take our industrial road, and I'm going to kind of look at this as being the end. So I'm just going to pull down this road right to there, and then I'm going to look at warehouses. Plop this one down. I think I will... Should I go right to the corner here, or should we place it back a section? I think placing it back a section would probably be a bit better. However, going down this direction, I think the fence would be right along the roadway. So let's just continue this along just momentarily. Yeah, and then what we'll do here is, I was gonna say maybe we can get a crops thing in there, but I think we'll just leave it at that. All right, and we will very lightly decorate this section with a couple trees, and we'll get water out this way. Just connect up pretty simply like that and over. And you know what we didn't do? We didn't get some more water treatment. So I'm just going to... darn, that's... I really want to make our own little water treatment area, and I think I'll just save that for a future episode this week. So this is just temporary. There we go. But it will eventually be pretty good. Anyway, so we're gonna throw... You know, I could also go for a bigger factory over here sometime. Maybe we can switch it out eventually. So we're gonna go on to fill, flour, and then we're gonna just do balanced. Do we even really need this? Because I think we're pretty good on animal products. Because we're making so much that's getting stored in there. And all they need to really do is come over this way. I think maybe we'll set animal products on this one anyways. And we'll do fill. Okay, so throw it to 3-speed. We're gonna start seeing trucks come out this way, which is good. We have a light here, which is probably fine. We could also probably look at upgrading that road eventually, but that is okay for now. What am I doing? I'm looking for a traffic manager here, and I'm just going to give dedicated turning lanes. Okay, so now hopefully the bakery won't run out of flour as much as it was. And again, I'm saving this for maybe Friday's episode, maybe a future Friday episode. We will look at upgrading this interchange because it is a pretty weak interchange for the demand that it's asking for. Alright, so we do have a noise complaint somewhere. Right here. Okay, yeah, it's a tough spot to be if you're a house. So why don't we listen to them, and we'll just de-zone the house here, and we'll throw some commercial zoning. And why don't we just do that in the whole block? All right. Sounds good. And looks like we shouldn't have zoning on Phillip Street here. And that will also allow us to kind of make up for what we did by filling in some residential down here. There should not be a house right there, so we will leave that. Might as well just throw that in there as well. Okay, so did a lot today. We looked at this area. We filled in some space. We got the next milestone. Oh, that's not the milestone button, which is this. The next one is 22,000, where we get our garbage processing plant. I think we'll do a bit of garbage processing change in the future, but we also got crematoriums. I think I'll just look at throwing in a couple of crematoriums, and then we will, or crematoriums, however you pronounce it, and we will go on our way. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a bit of a trick that Zardis uses, and I'm going to throw it into cemeteries. Now I don't think We do have a cemetery over here. Okay, why don't we throw this right here then? And I'll just use move it to make it seem a bit better. Buildings, there we go. Just like that. Alright, and that should help the death care out a bit. We are losing a lot of money here right now. I'll look into why. Perhaps the factory isn't producing what we're looking for. No, it is. We do have a fill notification. I'll empty that, and I'll look to add in just a few more crematoriums. I think we'll kind of throw one in a sneaky spot or something like that. It's right here, and I think that should be sufficient for this state of the city. I mean, we don't really have one over this section, but we do have a ton of cemeteries. We've got a bit of a dead zone over here, so maybe I'll look to add one in. I mean, this corner lot is probably good for that. We also got an opportunity right here, but that's right beside a school, and that wouldn't be a good idea. Okay, well, I guess I think this would be a better spot right there. And then we got one more thing that I wanted to add in. Oh gosh, what was it? Wasn't fire, wasn't that? Anyways, I'll remember. Okay, well, and then we upgraded our warehousing over this direction. I'm just trying to think of a good spot to end it, you know? Because we didn't really do too much on the terms of building today. So I guess I will kind of just go down here. We'll end it with a bit of a cool view of this neighborhood. How about something like this? All right, have a great day. Peace out.